All right, peoples, we are moving right along. All right, I remember last video we got the front wheel and the fender and all that good stuff hooked up, and woo-wee, look at that beautiful son of a bitch right there. All right, anyway, we're moving right along. So today we're gonna be busting out the handlebars and the controls and the front brake line, along with the brake caliper there. Oh yeah, we got ourselves some custom billet clamps to hook up this new brake line. It's a different size than the OEM brake line. So we got ourselves some new blue billet clamps that we're going to show you how I'm going to put them onto that little section right there. We're going to run the brake line up where it goes. And we have another hookup right here, which we're going to be hooking up another billet clamp on there and then feed it on through. And yeah, the clutch lever and the thumb throttle, and we're going to put the grips on, and we're going to be torquing the handlebars down, and we're going to be hooking up the headlight bezel straps. And I'm not sure if we're probably not going to get to the electrical, but those those little light bars are going to go inside of there. Yeah. And we got ourselves an AC DC adapter to convert the AC power into DC to bust out those LEDs. And we'll get into that, but probably not this video. But you want to stay tuned, and you definitely want to subscribe down there and ring that bell for notifications. Yeah, because you get notified right in your inbox when all the good stuff is coming up. And like I said, we're gonna be getting the electrical done. We're gonna be hooking up some LEDs in here. So you definitely want to subscribe to catch that in the future. So yeah, anyway, back on to what we're doing here. So we're gonna be installing the foot pegs and the brake lever down there. And yeah, we got ourselves a CRF, Honda CRF master cylinder that we've adapted that has the all-in-one, no external reservoir. So yeah, I fabricated a bracket. You can see right there I made myself a bracket, and I got some little plastic pieces. We're gonna be hooking that up, and we'll get into that. And I have the OEM master cylinders hanging out there for the hell of it, but I rebuilt this one. But I didn't record that because I rebuilt the one for my 400EX. They are pretty much exactly the same. So I'll put a link to that if you want to check out how to rebuild a master cylinder. And yeah, there's our headlight straps. Woo-wee. Yeah, well, without further ado, let's just get right on down to it, shall we? We're going to start with the handlebars, and then we'll go from there. All right, so let's just get our handlebars hooked up here. So we're just going to put this right on here like so, and kind of try to line it up like we're going to ride it. And these are some aluminum tusk handlebars, which are kind of handy and really light and really sturdy. And they actually come with little marks right here, so we can just line it up so that we have the same amount of space between these marks. And let's see, should sit right about like so. That looks beautiful right there. And then we have our clamps, and you want to make sure they have a little dot right here. The dot goes up. So one's gonna go on this side. And the other one, dot up. And then with these handlebars too, there's not a lot of space to work with these wide clamps. So you kind of got to finagle it just right in order to get the gap out right here in front. That's why these need to be very even. They don't have very much play like the stock ones do. They got a big ass gap down there. And it looks like I kind of got everything pretty much where it belongs. We could move it just a little bit. There you go, that looks like perfection right there. And what I'm going to do is just pretend like I'm riding here. This is about where we're going to be sitting anyway. Right about there looks pretty good. These babies get torqued between 13 and 22 foot-pounds. And I'm going to torque them to 15 right now, which is 180 inch-pounds. We may have to undo this after we get it rolling, you know, get the rolling chassis, get the back end underneath it to maybe adjust the bars a bit, but pretty confident that it's pretty close to where I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and torque it just like, we'll just tighten the back ends on there. So this will be 180 inch-pounds. 15, which is 180 inch-pounds. 15, 180 inch-pounds. 15, 180 inch-pounds. 15, 180 inch-pounds. All right, next we're going to throw our controls on here and our handle grips. We got some ODI Troy Lee Designs version self-locking, no need for any crappy glue or anything like that. They got the little screws on here. These are my favorite kind. All we do is plunk these things on and tighten up these little Allen screws. Boom, they don't move. So let's get the grips on and all right, first before we put the grips on, let's go ahead and throw our brake on. And we'll just let that dangle for a second. I'm gonna let it dangle for a second. And we're gonna bust out our thumb throttle next. Now let's get our grip so that we can make sure that all this stuff lines up together. And what we did was we snapped these little pieces on, right? They have little, you can see where they have little places where you line them up and you just snap these little pieces on. And then you snap this one on, it looks just like this. And then there's an end cap. You snap that on. And then there's a little Allen screw that you thread through here on both sides. And then we slide it on right up to the end cap. And line it up perfectly so that your hand, this little guy right here, is supposed to be like some kind of guard for your hand right here. And we got everything lined up perfectly. So we can crank this baby down. Should be tight enough. There we go. Now we can first line up our throttle. And it's going to just butt up against the handle grip. And then we can just tighten this baby down. And just give it a make sure. That looks good right there. Perfect. Next, that's what this little thing right here is for. We can adjust our brake right on up to that little notch right here. That feels pretty good right there. All right, let's move on over to the other side of the handlebars. All right, now we can roll on to the other side, and we're going to start out with the clutch lever. All right, now that I was so rudely interrupted by the stupid-ass ice cream truck. All right, let's get back on down to the clutch here. All right, so we slide this on, and we're just going to let this baby hang here also. And then we're going to put our on-off and our hand controls here. And then we're going to do our other grip. And this is the way these work is this little piece snaps on to the end of here. And it's got a little lip right here that grabs onto these little teeth that hang out. So what we do is the threads, the screws down on the bottom, so we'll match it. So we'll have the screws down on the bottom on this one too. Snap that dog on there. You want this piece right here to rest on the end of your hand, so it's going to go like this. So we can snap on the end cap, which is going to sit right like so. Boom. And we might have to adjust it because this thing spins a lot. So we're just going to start the screws right now. Just get them started there. And then the one on the other side. All right, then we can just throw our grip on. And slide it on down to the end cap and get it adjusted right. So we're going to have it just like this. This guy's going to go up. And we'll get the logo centered on here. Right about there. And then we'll tighten this dog down. And then we'll do the same with the other. And there you go. And now we'll center up our controls. And right about there is where I would like them. So then we can just zip these down. And then our clutch lever will, this doesn't have a little slot like the other side does where it has this little, and again it doesn't have the little thing like right here where this guy butts up against it and it has a little spacer automatically so you get the right amount of space. This one doesn't have that on the throttle, on the controls here, but we're just going to eyeball it and kind of make it the same as the brake on the other side. So I'd say that's pretty good right about there. Oh yeah, that looks perfect. So you just want to buzz this down just a little bit, because this has a little plastic piece right here, and when you crash, that's what I was gonna say. If you crash, no, when you crash, this is if you just if you don't crank these down really hard, then this is a breakaway lever, so it'll just kind of fold in and go, and it won't break the thing off, the lever off. But yeah, we're looking good there. Woo! All right, there's our handlebars and our controls all hooked up, ready to rock and roll. We're ready to take this dog someplace. Now all we need is a motor. Oh yeah, We also need rear wheels, huh? They would kind of help to maybe take us someplace. Anyhow, let's move on, and you know what? While we're sitting here, we're done with the front end except for one little piece. Let us go ahead and put the Honda badge on where it belongs. Woo! Oh yeah. All right, so we're gonna put back on we're gonna put back on the Honda badge right here, and we need to clean this up first. And I'm going to use some acetone, and I get it cheap because, yeah, I use the nail polish remover. So it is 100% pure acetone, but this is way cheaper than just buying acetone, and it is acetone. So, well, there you go. So we're just gonna put a little bit on the old rag right here. I'm gonna clean up that spot nice. And make sure it's dry. All right, now we got everything cleaned up right here, and I got adhesive sprayed on the back, and it's set up for 30 seconds, and it's getting tacky. We can go ahead and we can tack this sucker right on there, but you want to make sure you get this right because we don't get another shot at this. That looks pretty good right there. So we're just gonna hold pressure on it in a bunch of different places, especially on the ends and the bottom. And there we go, now it's only time we let it dry. But yeah, what I did, I'm probably gonna buy a new one anyway, so this one doesn't really matter that much. But this had the silver on it, and it was all nasty and coming off. So all I did was I took some a flat surface and some sandpaper, and I just made it white. So I just sanded it until the white came through instead of the silver that was on there, and I think it matches pretty good and it looks good. Anyway, there we go. Woo, logoed up. All right, now that we got our badge on there, let's go ahead and throw on our aftermarket brake line. We got these cool ass Galfer brake lines. The awesome blue to match the rest. And yeah, this one comes with a sticker right here that says master cylinder. So this is the master cylinder side. And you can see this side's got the little curve in it. So it's going to go down to the bottom like this and sit on the caliper. So let's just slide this baby through here, and it's going to go right on down through here. So we'll just drop it in there first. And then this guy is going to go right into the master cylinder. And we're going to take one side, because one cross washer on each side. So we're going to take one and shove it through. And then we'll put the cross washer onto the back of here. And it goes right in here. And make sure that this guy goes in between. That's all there is to that. We'll tighten it down, of course, later. We're going to have to fill this up and bleed the brakes and all that good stuff. But we're not going to do that for a while. And plus, we're not going to do that in my living room. We're going to do that in the garage. Once we get this roller built and we get this thing out in the garage and we get the motor going, we'll get the brakes going, and we'll do all that stuff outside. Anyway, whoo, yeah. Let's move on to hooking up the rest of this down to the caliper. All right, folks, so now that the brake line comes down through there, there's going to be a little clip right here that holds it, and there's one right here. And then we go into the caliper like so. So let's get this baby off. And this way is going to work the same way. We're going to put one cross washer on the outside and one on the inside. And then it has a little slot right here where this is where the tube goes. So let's get him fed in through like so. And then this takes a 14, and we'll just tighten this one down right now. And we have ourselves some pretty cool stuff that I have found. Wasn't really made for this application, but I'm going to put these on because they look pretty goddamn cool. Check this out. So yeah, I found this company, Phoenix Industries. They're actually a plumbing place, and they make these billet clamps that are 5/16, and they are perfect to hold this hose right here. Look at those. There's some billet P clamps. So no, they don't pee on you, or they don't pee on anyone. They don't take leaks. They are shaped like a pea. And what's going to happen is we're going to attach this guy right on here. And it's going to stick out like this, and it's going to hold the clamp. And it's going to look beautiful in the process. So look at that. Woo-wee. Let's get this in place and we can see it. So yeah, so first we're going to clamp the brake line. And then we're going to cruise it down where it belongs. And then we're going to send the bolt through. And we're going to catch it on the back with the nut. So you know what else is cool about these clamps is this is actually takes a threaded bolt, but this takes such smaller Allen heads that they go right on through. I don't have to drill anything. I don't have to do anything. It's wonderful. Snug it down. We'll kind of get it straight where it belongs. And there you go, look at that. Billet clamps. And now we have one more of these that we're going to use on this, and it's going to work the same way. Since this is a threaded 10 millimeter, these are smaller. They'll fit right through the hole. So it's going to sit just like this. Or we could let it sit like this, depending on which way seems to work best. So let's give it a try. I'm going to try it like this first because I think it looks cool. So we'll clamp it on. Let's just get that through there. We'll get it started. All right, and then we don't have enough space to get in there with the little small ratchet, so we're going to use, try to use all right. So let's see if we can get this tightened down a little bit. God damn it. And there we go. Woo! All right, and look at that. Now we got our billet clamps hooked up. We got our line hooked up to the caliper. We got it going all the way through there and all the way through the holder, all the way up. We're ready to rock. And then of course you won't see this kind of weird mess right here once we get the headlight on. Yeah, we can get rid of that sticker now that tells us which side goes where, because, well, we already know and we don't want that big ass sticker hanging out there, so yeah. Let's just do that. There we go. Now we're looking good. All right. Now we can move on to the brake pedal and the master cylinder and the foot pegs. So yeah. So I got my CRF master cylinder that I rebuilt it and cleaned it up. So this is all fresh now, all brand new. We got a new clevis coming too. We got a cool ass blue clevis that's on the way, but for now we're gonna use this one. And yeah, this is all rebuilt. This brand new seals in here, brand new seals in the piston, rebuilt the whole inside, cleaned it up, and yeah, this baby looks pretty sharp. So let's put our fine mounting brackets on that I've fabricated up. Look at this fine dog. Woo-wee! Hells yeah, I made this. And you know what I started with? Check this out. This is what it started with. This is a light bar mounting bracket. And I fabricated this out of this. We're gonna put this onto here first. But before we put the bolts in, we're going to blue Loctite these in here because since this is kind of a makeshift kind of dealio, I don't want these vibrating out and whatnot. So we're gonna hit that with some blue Loctite. And we'll put it in the top hole. And then we'll hit the other bolt. And we'll line it up and hit that guy down here. And we'll just zip these down. All right. And then, in order to make this kind of stick out so it doesn't hit the frame, I have these little kind of, they're like Delrin bushings kind of, but I have a piece of plastic that was one piece and it worked out perfect where I just cut it in half. And now I have two little razors, I guess. I don't know what they are. They raise it out. So we'll put these on here. We'll go ahead and blue Loctite these bolts also. So we'll hit this one. And we'll first send it through like this, and then we'll put this guy on the back. And then right into here. Then we'll grab the other bolt, blue Loctite, and we'll send it through here and put this guy on the back. And then we'll find the hole. And we'll leave that kind of loose for a second because we're going to have to line it up with the brake down here. All right. And now we got some brand new brake pedal seals that are going to go right on here and right on the back side. Oh yeah, and here's our crappy old master cylinder, and this is why we're doing this. Look at that thing. I don't want to rebuild it because look at the inside of there. That's nasty. That whole thing is, I mean, I could do it, but why? I don't have to. So yeah, when we put these seals in, we're going to go ahead and use the Maxima waterproof grease. We're going to grease up this seal. We'll just get some in here. And we'll just stick this guy in the backside first. Just like so. And you want to have the writing out. And we'll do the front seal. And we'll put that right on in the front here. Woo-wee. Look at that. Yeah, I found these seals in a Facebook group. They don't make these seals anymore. But I found somebody who's reproducing them. And yeah, they are. Look at that. They're a perfect fit. All right, now we got the brake pedal ready to go. We can get our springs set. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a little bit of grease on here. We're going to grease this all up. And we're going to grease up this spring. And then this spring is going to go right on here for now. All right, now we have that in place. We're going to put a little bit of grease on the inside of here. We don't need a lot in here because we already got some on the shaft there. All right, and now the spring, this big end, right, this big circle is just going to jump onto this guy right here. So we'll put a little bit of grease on here as well. And then we're just going to put the spring and the brake pedal right on there. This is going to go on here, and then of course the spring's going to hook right there. Just like that. And now in order to secure this guy, we put the foot peg on. And I've rebuilt these two. I took out the pins right there, or re-greased everything, and got new cotter pin right there. Painted these up all nice and beautiful. So yeah. So this dog is going to go right here. And we're going to Loctite the bolts. And then the other bolt. And then we'll just zing these down. The foot pegs get torqued from 43 to 51 foot-pounds, and I'm going to use 47 since that's a kind of a number that's used on a lot of things is 47. So I'm going to use 47 foot-pounds, and with our Loctite we should be good to go. 47. 47. Woo-wee. Smooth. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to hook this clevis up, but technically we're getting a new clevis, like I said, and we'll put that on. But let's just go ahead and hook this dog up. So what you want to do with the clevis is you're just going to bring this guy up here. And these are pretty simple. All you got to do is pop this guy on, and then it's got a hole in the back that's going to get a cotter pin, and that's all there is to that. And then a little cotter pin that just goes through the back side. And we're not going to, right now I'm not going to curl the cotter pin down because like I said, we're getting a new clevis. And that's all there is. Oh wait, I almost forgot. Woo! Not quite yet. We need to torque these. These we're not going to torque because I don't really know what they are against here, and they're plenty tight with the Loctite. We got Loctite in here too, but they get torqued between 7.2 and 10 foot-pounds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 88 inch-pounds, which is 7.3333333333 forever. 7.33 repeating. But 88 is my go-to, 88 inch-pounds. And with the Loctite, that should be plenty. And we fall in the spec, so that'll be fine. So yeah, I made this adjustable so we can get it where we need it first. And I think right about right in there is good. So let's get it where it belongs. There we go, and now we can torque it down. 88 inch-pounds. 88 right there, because see, once we zero out 80, Now we're at exactly 80. So here's 85 and 88. And we'll just snug this guy down. 88. 88. Let's just hit this guy again to make sure. 88. 88. And there we go, folks. We're braked up. Now all I gotta do is hook up a brake line and we get the rear end in there and we'll be all set. So let's go throw the other foot peg on as long as we're doing the foot pegs. All right, now let's get that other foot peg. Foot peg. The other foot peg on there. Got to show off the Metal Militia shoes, man. How badass are those? Yes. All right. Let's get the damn foot peg in there. Woo! All right, so once again, we're going to blue Loctite these. And we'll just feed the bolt through. And we'll hit the other guy with some blue Loctite. All right, and then we can torque them. 47 foot-pounds. 47. 47. We'll hit these again to make sure. 47. 47. All right, and now we are foot pegged. Woo! It's beautiful. All right, next we're gonna install our grab bar. And I have redone this one, and it was a mess. I had to use body filler right here, and it had all kinds of dents and all kinds of crazy stuff in it because I was just gonna polish it up and make it all shiny and chrome and beautiful, but it had dents. I mean, big chunks of dents, so I had to sand it down and use body filler and, you know, do some painting because this is the way it looked when it was stock anyway. This is the OEM, this is black, that's what it looked like. So rather than trying to mess with all that, the dents and everything in it, it was easier to fill it, paint it. And then we can buy an aftermarket grab bar if we really want to go shiny. But for now, this works, and I'm happy with it. Look at that, you can't even tell. So yeah, here's the before picture of the grab bar with all the dents in it. Ooh, nasty, huh? And then here is, you know, some filler that I have plunked on there before sanding. And here is after I sanded it down and made it all beautiful, and then voila. Now we have the final paint job on top of the body filler and the sanding. And yeah, I spent a lot of hours making it do this, so I'm probably just gonna keep this one because, well, it's got my sweat and tears into it. No blood though, because I didn't cut myself, thank God. Anyway, first what we're gonna do is put the rubbers in, and they don't make these anymore, so I gotta use the ones that came out, and thank God they're okay. But we're gonna put some grease in them to keep them. Anyway, let's start with that big dog there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our Maximal waterproof grease, and we're just gonna put a little bit on the inside of here. We can wipe off any we get on the outside, but you don't really want any on the outside because all it's gonna do is collect dust and dirt and everything else. Inside though, we want to definitely make sure that this is greased up nice on the inside so that it stays rubbery and it absorbs, you know, all of this stuff. And then this guy goes in the big hole, of course. And then we'll do the same to the other 3. But once again, we're gonna grease up the where it goes on the inside of the frame. I mean the inside of the grab bar. And then we'll just put it right through. And the next one. And the last one. And we'll just plunk this guy through here. And there we go. All right, now that we got the rubbers in there and we're ready to rock and roll here, we can put it together, because basically we're going to take the taillight brackets and they are going to fit right in these back slots. So one's going to go here, one is going to go here. And then this is where the exhaust is going to go, and it goes already on here. And the other side, we're going to need this bushing inside of here. So there we go. We're all set there. So now we can just plunk this sucker Alright, so we'll put this one on here, we'll put that one on there. We'll slide this sucker on. We'll get it set to go in there. And then we will slide this one in down here and get it set. And then since this one keeps falling out, and we are going to throw us some blue Loctite on here. Alright folks, so I think I might have had the do not disturb off for some reason while I was recording, and I got a call or something and I dropped the video while I was doing the rest of this grab bar. But what I ended up doing was I ended up using some different bolts since I don't have the tool kit that goes here, and so yeah, these Allen bolts right here are actually left over from my 400EX build where I bought brand new ones, and I had these really nice ones left over. These are pinch bolts for the swing arm for the 400EX, and they happen to fit perfectly and they look very beautiful. So yeah, these are our new grab bar bolts. They worked great. So in case you wanted to know and you needed new bolts for your grab bar, go ahead and order you up some pinch bolts for the ones that hold the carrier into the swing arm on a 400EX. They work perfectly, are exactly the right length. Anyhow, what I did was all blue Loctite on these 3 right here. This one, this Allen, this second Allen, and this Allen bolt over here. And I just snugged them down as good as I can, and I'm just not going to torque these because I don't like torquing with Allen heads. They're fine with the blue Loctite in there. And this one right here is where the exhaust gets mounted up, and we'll get that when we do the exhaust. But yeah, this leads us into a good segment. I'm going to wrap up the video here today. Yeah. So, woo! Look at that. And look at what we got coming up next video. Oh yeah, we're going to get this rear end in there. We're going to get the shock mounted up. We're going to get the swing arm in. We're going to get the carrier in. We're going to get the axle in. Woo! We're going to hook up the back caliper. And yeah, we're going to get all that hooked up. next video. So you want to make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe and ring that bell to get notified, and drop me a comment. Leave some comments down there and let me know. Give me some support and everything. So yeah. Whoo. Well, we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good. We got handlebars on now. Woo-wee. You know what time it is. Peace out, Girl Scouts.